I can't believe it's taken 30 years for another sequel of Beverly Hills Cops to brace our screens. But should they have bothered? Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is a 2024 action comedy film serving as a fourth installment in the Beverly Hills Cop film series and as a sequel to Beverly Hills Cop 3, 1994, starring Eddie Murphy, who is also a producer in this film. The only reason the genre action comedy exists is because of Beverly Hills Cop. See, back then, they didn't even know what to call it, because no one had thought to meld semi-serious action stuff with some funny situations sprinkled into it. Not even Sylvester Stallone could wrap his head around that. Movies like Bad Boys wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for this specific movie paving the way for that genre. Now, the question is, why did they make a fourth film? Was it for money? Did we ask for this? Does it even make sense? Well, I'll tell you why they did it. For nostalgia's sake. And well, money. Lots of money. They thought, let's get some money out of those kids who enjoyed this stuff in the 80s. Surely besides their back pain, most of them are probably close to dying from heart attacks. Oh God, I am that kid. Oh my God, I'm old. Well played, Eddie Murphy. Well played. And also, Jerry Bruckheimer, you rich bastards. Anyway, here's the quick plot followed by pros and cons. Please stick around, it'll be quick and informative because clearly we don't have time. Axel Foley returns to Beverly Hills after his estranged daughter's life is threatened. Axel relentlessly seeks who is responsible to bring them to justice or maybe death. Yes, the plot is pretty simple and not complicated at all. Now for the pros and cons, starting with cons. Eddie Murphy is old. So he doesn't run, he doesn't jump. They have to do all these quick cuts just to make it seem like he's doing something. Just don't make the movie, how about that? Now, there are some racial jokes in there about being black in America that I'm sure are pretty accurate, but still cringy and very unnecessary.
Honestly, I assumed you didn't even like hockey, so this is...
Wait, why would you assume that I didn't like hockey? How could you just assume that?
Oh, because
I'm just because of...
No.
I was thinking, yeah, give it a rest. Mind you, it's not a deal breaker and it's not even that deep, but it is a con nonetheless. Eddie Murphy felt like he was phoning it in. In my opinion, that is. I'm sure he was working really hard, but it felt like he was a guy pretending to be Eddie Murphy, pretending to be Axel Foley, or maybe it's just because he's 63 years old. Could be that. Axel has been a cop for so long, there is just no way he hasn't bought a new car. He still drives a rust bucket. How is that even possible? Since the 80s. Now this one is just nitpicking. Eddie Murphy never does his Axel Foley laugh that he did in part 1. Which is mostly because of you guys kept impersonating that laugh and he got all conscious about it. And now I miss it. It's like the fundamentals of that character. You ruined it.
You had like an iconic laugh that people were butchering.
I started out, that was my real laugh. And then I realized a little bit along, oh, they're laughing at my laugh. And then it became like, you know, part of it was like, all you have to do is do that laugh and they would laugh. And it was like, oh no, I'm not gonna. And I really made myself stop laughing. Like, I don't laugh like that anymore.
And that's all the cons I have, because I was semi-prepared for this movie to heavily hedge its bets on nostalgia, and that's very much okay with me. And now for the pros. Everyone who is still alive and was in Beverly Hills Cop 1 reprised their role briefly in this movie, which is pretty damn cool, but it's so weird seeing them get so old because, damn, life. I feel like I just keep talking about age. There's this running gag of saying Sylvester Stallone's name in every Beverly Hills Cops movie because he was actually supposed to play the character Axel Foley, but didn't want to do the whole action comedy thing and passed on this movie to go do a movie called Cobra instead, which is actually a pretty cool movie, but it's very serious in tone. This right here is Eddie Murphy's daughter, playing a cop arresting her father. That's pretty cool. This movie has all these 80s songs, which is so nostalgic, and some of you old heads might probably feel as nostalgic as I do as well. Kevin Bacon is the villain in this film, and he does well as a villain, so he was well cast for that role. They didn't try to make a complicated story, they clearly just wanted to make a fun movie based around nostalgia, and they succeeded. There is this blink and you will miss it type of moment where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is making fun of Beverly Hills Cop 3 because Eddie Murphy actually despises that movie. I personally thought it was okay.
I saw that. 84, 87, and then 94.
I'm gonna go ahead and rate this movie a 6 out of 10 because you and we both know this movie had no business existing. 3 was enough. But I'm also glad to see Eddie Murphy, the living legend, out there doing things. It's great. So yes, I definitely recommend this movie. I unfortunately think it's an okay movie in the grand scheme of things. And it's definitely not the best movie out there. I'm sure they knew that going in. They just did it for nostalgia's sake anyway. But for us 80s kids, it was pretty damn cool. And that's my 2 cents. If this video brought you any value or at least gave you some information you didn't already know, then please subscribe and like. I will definitely appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.